Hello everyone, we are glad to have you back. The compelling yet challenging tale of the U.S. Army Air Force's 100th Bombardment Group has been told in 8 episodes of Apple TV Plus' Masters of the Air. With the 9th and final episode approaching, many events will probably need to take place in order to conclude the 100th story. In addition to portraying the conclusion of World War II, the series must narrate the actual experiences of the 100th's airmen. 9 will therefore be a stressful, flight, injury, and escape-filled episode. There are 2 excellent resources for figuring out what will happen in Masters of the Air's climax. First, historical documents exist that detail the precise fate of every significant member of the 100th Bomb Group. It is clear from researching genuine men such as Robert Rosenthal and Gail Buck Clevin what Episode 9 must feature. Furthermore, there were numerous clues regarding the direction of the program in the trailer for Episode 9. The teaser presented multiple theories on what the 100th may encounter prior to the end of the battle in a few short frames. A big event that viewers will be anticipating in Episode 9 is the departure of Buck and Bucky from Stalag Luft 3. The pair will be sent to Nuremberg after leaving the camp, as hinted at in the teaser for Episode 9. This actual event took place when the inmates at Stalag Luft 3 were made to walk miles in sub-freezing weather across Germany. This conflict, the men's travels across Germany, and Buck and Bucky's current escape desires will probably all be covered in Episode 9. One more major event that will take place at Masters of the Air, the end of World War II, is revealed in Episode 9. 2 years after the 100th Bomb Group arrived in England in the spring of 1943, the war would finally come to an end for them. Notably, depending on where they are, every character will probably witness the conclusion of the war on a different date. The airmen at Thorpe Abbotts will probably be sent home earlier than those who are held as prisoners of war. In any case, the 100th will celebrate a relief and victorious conclusion to the war. Episode 9 will feature Robert Rosenthal's ongoing battle with the Germans, while Buck and Bucky await their destiny as prisoners of war. Sadly, unfortunately, he might not have the same luck as on earlier missions. Specifically, it appears that Episode 9 would feature one of Rosenthal's riskier missions towards the close of the war, like the time he broke both his nose and his arm when he crash-landed in France in September 1944. Rosenthal, who has remained relatively safe throughout the series, will undoubtedly see a sea change after this. His life will be in jeopardy in Episode 9. Buck Clevin's eventual escape from Stalag Luft 3 is another facet of the evacuation that is alluded to in the Episode 9 teaser. Records state that in January 1945, Clevin was able to elude the Stalag Luft 3 evacuation. The preview for Episode 9 appears to hint at this scenario, with Buck outlining an escape plan and Bucky restraining a number of guards as Buck flees. Consequently, it appears highly probable that Episode 9 will represent Buck Clevin's incredible escape in accordance with actual events. Episode 9 will need to continue the tale of the Tuskegee Airmen, who were first mentioned in Episode 8. Lieutenant Robert Daniels will make an appearance in Episode 9 as a fellow Stalag Luft 3 prisoner on his way to Nuremberg. Based on the teaser video, even though Captain Richard Mackin and Lt. Alexander Jefferson don't appear to be part of the evacuation, it is probable that their stories will also come to light. Particularly after bringing them into the series so quickly, Masters of the Air needs to tie up their arcs. A greater number of these scenes appear to be included in Episode 9, even though the majority of Masters of the Air has concentrated on the missions and outcomes of the 100th Bomb Group. The men will discover the extent of the damage inflicted upon the civilian population of Europe when the POWs from Stalag Luft 3 arrive in Nuremberg. By emphasizing the effects of World War II on civilians as well as soldiers, Masters of the Air will thereby draw comparisons to Band of Brothers once more. It's possible that Masters of the Air Episode 9 depicts the troops of the 100th ultimately returning to the United States, even though there is no indication of this. Interestingly, the show started with the 100th's arrival in Europe and only hinted at certain aspects of their personal life, such Buck and Marge's connection. As viewers could witness the airmen safe and content, their return to the United States at the conclusion of the series would be immensely fulfilling. A scene to examine would be Buck's wedding. The stories that were presented in Masters of the Air Episode 9 need to be concluded. Masters of the Air must disclose what actually happened to these adored characters, just as it was done in Band of Brothers and the Pacific. Even if their pasts are available through records, it is crucial that the show honors the men they have so painstakingly represented while also giving viewers the answers they need. A fitting and powerful conclusion for Masters of the Air depends on a farewell speech for the men of the 100th. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.